Stop. If someone is on your mind right now, constantly, this isn't random. And it's not one-sided, because while you're thinking about him, there are already 7 psychological shifts happening on his side, whether he realizes it or not. Think about this carefully. Have you ever tried to ignore someone, but somehow they keep showing up in your thoughts? Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. That's not just memory. That's not coincidence. The human mind doesn't hold on to something without reinforcement. If the thought keeps returning, it's being fed, strengthened, circulated. And here's where it gets interesting. When your focus locks onto someone like that, it often triggers subtle reactions in them through behavior, attention, and even emotional patterns they don't consciously track. So what's actually happening? Here is the truth that most people do not say out loud.
When you cannot stop thinking about a guy, something is already going on with him too. And I do not mean this in some fake story-like way that sounds nice but is not real. I am talking about something real, something deeper, a kind of energy and connection that exists between two people that no one can fully explain, but almost everyone has felt at some point in life. Now, before you think this is just something to comfort you, pause for a second, because what you are about to hear is not about false hope or imagination. It is about what is really happening under the surface when someone keeps staying in your mind again and again. And trust me when I say this, he is feeling something too, probably more than you even realize right now. You know exactly what this feels like. He appears in your thoughts when you are doing normal things like eating breakfast or walking somewhere. You see something funny and instantly think he would enjoy it. You hear a song and suddenly he is right there in your mind again. You try to focus on your work, your friends, or anything else around you, but somehow your thoughts keep going back to him. It can even start to frustrate you because you do not want to think about him this much, yet you still do without even trying. And then your mind starts asking questions that make everything feel even heavier. You wonder if you are losing control or thinking too much. You question if he even remembers you or thinks about you at all. You start to imagine that maybe he is just living his normal life completely fine, while you are the only one stuck in this loop of thoughts. But let me make something very clear to you. You are not losing your mind. You are not strange or overthinking in a bad way. There is actually a strong chance that what you are feeling right now is also being felt by him in some way. Because when there is something real between two people, it does not just exist on one side. It cannot stay one-sided when the connection is strong. That is simply not how real connections work. When someone keeps taking over your thoughts again and again, it is not random and it is not meaningless. It is not just your emotions running wild. There is something deeper going on. Something that you cannot see but can definitely feel. And in this video we are going to go through the 7 things that are already happening with him when he cannot leave your mind like this. Not things that might happen, not guesses or possibilities, but things that are very likely happening right now on his side too. And by the time you reach the end you will understand why your thoughts keep going back to him and what this situation could really mean for both of you. So before you try to ignore this or push those thoughts away again, just stop for a moment. Take a slow breath and stay here. You did not come across this by accident. Deep inside you already feel that something is happening. You just needed someone to explain it in a simple and clear way, and that is exactly what we are doing together right now. Stay with me because what you are about to understand can completely change how you see this whole situation. It can help you look at your thoughts in a different way and understand that there is more going on than what you see on the surface. So let us move forward and look at this more closely. When you keep thinking about someone again and again, they can feel it in some way. It may sound a bit strange at first, but just stay with this idea for a moment. Every time you think about him, you are putting your focus and attention toward him, and that focus carries a kind of energy. Whether he is aware of it clearly or not, there is a part of him that picks up on it. Have you ever had someone suddenly come to your mind for no reason, and then a few minutes later they message you or contact you? Or you dream about someone you have not talked to in a long time, and then they appear again in your life out of nowhere. These moments are not always just random luck. Sometimes they are connected in ways we do not fully understand. When your mind stays focused on someone for a long time, especially with strong feelings, it creates a kind of invisible connection between both of you. It is like a quiet link that keeps pulling attention back and forth. He may not sit there and clearly say to himself that you are thinking about him, but he may feel something inside. It could be a small pull, a feeling he cannot explain, or a sudden thought about you that seems to come out of nowhere. He might check his phone without knowing why, or feel a random urge to reach out to you. And the interesting part is that the more you think about him, the stronger that connection can feel. It is almost like you are knocking on a door again and again without realizing it. And even if he does not open that door right away, there is still a part of him that hears it. Now this does not mean he will message you every single time you think about him, because life does not always work in such a direct way, but it does mean that your presence is not completely absent from his world. You are there in some form even when you are not physically around him, and that is something real, not something small or meaningless. Think about your own experiences. Sometimes you feel a certain emotion without knowing where it came from. You may feel low or suddenly happy without any clear reason. That can be because of the energy around you or the connections you carry with people. This happens more often than people realize, but it is not talked about much because it sounds unusual. But it is part of how human connection works. And when two people are strongly connected, that feeling becomes even stronger and harder to ignore. He may try to focus on his daily life, his work, or his friends, but somewhere inside he still feels something connected to you. He may not fully understand it, and he may not even talk about it, but it is there. So when you start thinking that you are the only one feeling all of this, that is not completely true. He is feeling something too, just in his own way and at his own time. And this naturally leads to the next part. When you cannot stop thinking about someone, they often start thinking about you more as well. It is like your thoughts slowly wake up their thoughts about you. You are not alone in this experience. He could be thinking about you more often than before, even if you have no direct proof of it. He might remember things you said or moments you shared. He might look back at old messages, or think about the last time he saw you. He could wonder what you are doing right now, or who you are spending time with. And sometimes these thoughts come to him when he is not even trying to think about you. He could be busy with something important, and suddenly your memory appears in his mind. When someone takes up space in your thoughts the way he is in yours, it often works in both directions. Your thoughts do not just disappear, they can influence how the other person thinks as well. It is not something you can see directly, but it shows in small moments when he pauses, remembers, or feels something without knowing why. Sometimes he may even smile slightly when you cross his mind, without fully understanding the reason behind it. This is not about magic or imagination. It is about how real human emotions and connections move between people. When there is something genuine, thoughts can move back and forth like waves. You think about him, and in some way it leads him to think about you too. It becomes like an unspoken exchange that neither of you planned, but both of you are part of. And the more your mind returns to him, the more his mind may start returning to you. It is like a quiet reminder that keeps appearing in his thoughts, even when he tries to focus on something else. He may not say it out loud or act on it immediately, but that does not mean it is not happening. It is there, growing slowly, shaping his thoughts in ways he may not even notice right away. Here is something else that is happening that many people do not even realize. He will start comparing other people to you without even trying to do it. It is not something he plans or decides, it just happens naturally. When you stay on someone's mind that much, you slowly become the standard in their head. He might meet someone new and think she is nice, but something feels missing. He might not even understand it clearly, but deep down he knows she is not you. He might be talking to someone and suddenly remember something you once said that felt more real, more interesting, or just more like him. You become more than just a memory to him. You turn into a feeling that keeps coming back again and again. It is not just about what you said or did, it is about how you made him feel when he was around you. And once someone reaches that level in a person's mind, it becomes very hard for anyone else to take that place. So if you have been sitting there wondering if he ever thinks about you, the answer is yes, and not just in small passing moments but in deeper ways than you probably imagine right now. Because when he thinks about you, he does not just move on quickly, he pauses, he sits with those thoughts, he replays moments and tries to understand them again. And while all of this is happening, something else begins to change inside him. His mood starts to shift in ways he cannot fully explain. This is something that most people completely overlook. When your thoughts are constantly focused on him and that energy keeps reaching him, it begins to affect how he feels throughout his day. He might suddenly feel happy without any clear reason, or he might feel a strange kind of restlessness, like something is missing but he cannot figure out what it is. He might become more emotional than usual, more thoughtful, or more distracted than he normally is. And he may not even understand why this is happening. You know how your own mood changes the moment you think about someone. Sometimes you smile without noticing, sometimes you feel a little sad, sometimes excited, or even confused. Those thoughts bring real changes inside you, and the same thing is happening to him when thoughts of you appear in his mind again and again. His emotions begin to move in different directions. One moment he might feel calm, and the next he might feel pulled towards something he cannot explain. He might feel focused for a while and then suddenly lose that focus completely, but no matter what, he is feeling something, and that feeling is connected to you in a very real way. Most people think their thoughts stay inside their own minds, but that is not always true. Thoughts can affect others more than we realize. They move, they create small changes, and they leave an impact. And when two people are thinking about each other often, those small effects become much stronger. They grow into something that is harder to ignore. So if he has been acting differently lately, if he seems more distant or more distracted or even more emotional than before, there is a real chance that it is because you are on his mind. Things that never reminded him of you before suddenly begin to do so. It is like your presence spreads into different parts of his daily life without him even noticing at first. He might hear a song and immediately think of you. He might see someone wearing something similar to what you wear and your image appears in his mind. He might eat something and remember a moment you shared. He might pass by a place and suddenly think about a time when you were there together. Now here is something very important. He is feeling a pull to reach out to you, but he does not know how to do it. When someone stays on your mind constantly and that connection is active, there is often a strong desire to talk to that person. He might feel the urge to message you, to say something, even if it is small. But the problem is that he may not know what the right way is to do it. This creates confusion inside him. He might pick up his phone many times during the day thinking about texting you. He might even type a message and then delete it before sending. He might go back and read old conversations just to find a reason to start talking again. He might look at your profile just to see what you are doing, but then he stops himself. He begins to overthink everything. He starts asking himself questions about what he should say and how you might react. And during all of this, another thing starts to happen. His energy becomes scattered. When someone stays in your mind constantly, it takes a lot of mental energy. You try to focus on your work or your friends, but your thoughts keep going back to that one person. It can feel tiring and hard to control. And just like you feel that, he feels something similar as well. When your thoughts keep reaching him and he keeps thinking about you, his focus begins to break apart. He may not be as sharp as he usually is. He may forget small things or lose track of what he was doing. His mind may wander more often, and many times it leads back to you. People around him might start noticing that something is different. They may ask him if he is okay or why he seems distracted, and he might not have a clear answer, because from his side it just feels like something is off, something is pulling his attention away again and again, and that something is connected to you being present in his thoughts more than ever before. So when you look at everything together, it becomes much clearer what is really going on. This is not just random thinking or you being stuck for no reason. When someone stays in your mind this strongly and this often, it usually means there is a real connection that has not fully faded. It means there is something unfinished, something still active between both of you, even if it is not being spoken about directly. And the most important part to understand is that you are not alone in feeling this. He is going through his own version of it, even if it looks different on the outside. He may not express it the same way, and he may not act on it right away, but that does not mean it is not there. The thoughts, the reminders, the emotional shifts, the urge to reach out, all of it shows that something real is still present. And instead of questioning yourself or feeling confused about why this is happening, you can start to see it for what it is, a sign that the connection between you has not completely disappeared. At the same time, this is where awareness becomes important. Just because something is there does not mean you have to lose yourself in it. You can recognize the feeling without letting it control your peace or your daily life. You can understand the connection without putting your life on hold waiting for something to happen. What you feel is valid and it has meaning, but your focus still matters. Your life, your growth, and your direction should always stay in your hands. So instead of overthinking every moment or trying to force an answer, allow things to unfold naturally. If he reaches out, you will know. If things are meant to move forward, they will. And if not, you will still be okay because you did not lose yourself in the process. The most powerful thing you can do right now is stay grounded, stay aware, and trust that what is real will always find its way without you having to chase it. And in the end, what this whole situation really teaches you is simple. Real connections leave a mark, and they do not disappear overnight. But your strength comes from knowing that while you can feel something deeply, you can still choose how you respond to it. You can feel it, understand it, and still move forward with clarity and confidence.